Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew with Family's Everything.
Until it's not. I'm Aunt. Oh, wait, Andrew, can we start again? I got to tell you something off screen. It's important, or I wouldn't. So stop it and let's start again.
We're back, people. Aunt told
We're
me what she
back.
needed to tell me offline. We did a little Pazarooski.
I'm sorry about that. Listen,
Well, I'm sorry that
I'm
I'm sorry that you keep going to the bathroom in your pants. Oh, sorry.
oh,
I told everyone what you told me. Just kidding. Ha
it's a
ha.
joke. It's a joke. Um, I never want to be in Spain on the side of a cliff and have a medical emergency. How lucky were they that the emergency just happened to be outside a chapel?
The
And they could
whole
all go
thing was
pray.
odd. Her veins were popping out and then she was fine.
No, she really wasn't fine. She definitely had high blood pressure. You can't fake high blood pressure unless she was taking something and
But
had a
why are we
reaction.
applauding Marie Ann or Anne Marie, whatever
Why?
her name
Because she
is?
comforted her.
Oh my God, if she didn't, she should be arrested. She's a nurse. Maybe I'm just immune to this because my mother literally has been helping people for like a million years, will never stop. They could punch her in the face and she'd still give them a band-aid. So like I'm
That's
so
true.
immune to
Yeah.
because my own mother, as you know, your sister is
Yes.
like
Yes.
that,
Yeah,
that
she
maybe
is.
it's
Yeah.
just for me second, like it's just common practice that if you're
Yeah,
a
no, but
medical
I'm not talking
professional,
about that, but I'm talking about it. How convenient was it that the medical emergency happened outside the chapel?
I get that. I mean,
I mean, it was a little bit contrived that way. And I don't believe that Crystal was faking or any of that was. I would think it would be terrible if they were.
I don't think she's faking. She cried that she had to go to a hospital.
Yeah, no, I think that, but it was just sort of a miracle that they were outside a Catholic chapel, and all of a sudden, well, we've known that Erika is Catholic because she's on Lent. You know what I mean? And I think this was Erika's best episode ever.
I couldn't stop laughing the
I'm telling you,
entire. I
she
was
was
sobbing.
so good,
I
and
was crying. I was
I
crying in laughter between Garcelle talking about the son and the dad,
yeah, the
and
cook's
that was
dad.
so funny. Garcelle was having Garcelle with that when Garcelle's like that, it makes me laugh so much.
Yes,
It's
I'm
amazing.
gonna tell you that you know how I have issues with Erika. We've discussed it.
No, you're not really anymore though.
I'm gonna tell you, she was, I like a character when I can identify something in myself. With
Erika
them,
would be an A-list celebrity if she acted the way she did at that dinner, the paella dinner, all the time.
she would be great on Celebrity Apprentice.
No, she would literally be a star beyond stars because the fact that she
It
was
was
to be
so
comedic and laughter, MERCE is in the purse.
Mirth
And then that she jumps in and she's like, all right, guys, MERCE was in a plastic
No,
bag,
he was in a Ziploc.
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 So, and the fact that like then she starts spitting out all these facts.
I'm gonna tell you, I like a character if or a personality. Let's call them personalities. We're not sure if they're acting or not. When they are, I can identify with them. And that's how I am at dinner parties with erudites. I'm just like that because I know just enough about
You're
what.
like that on the shuttle bus back to the casino after a hockey game.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. No matter where I am, I can find something in common with anyone.
Guys, we went to a hockey game. There was a lot of fighting during the game, and we're going on the shuttle back, and Aunt in front of all the people that are just mad that they can't have to, that the guy was waiting too long to get back to the casino. And
Right,
and
have a
Aunt
riot.
is talking about, well, that was the fighting was so much fun, and all these people are like looking at her, looking
No,
at.
and then I brought back the big fight in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, then she's bringing up
And
fights from like 1975,
yes, I
1980.
was.
And I'm like sitting
Yeah.
here and they're all like, holy crap, is this
What
lady
else
like,
does she know?
yeah.
But I can sit with just about anyone and I can find something in common with them.
Yeah.
And so Erika was me in that episode because I have a couple of glasses of wine and she was wasted. Erika was wasted before she even had her makeup on.
Yeah, I think I fell in love with Erika again this episode.
Yeah, I
'Cause
thought she was great in this
just reminded
episode.
me of even how like I like to be sometimes with questioning people, but also you know what, Erika, keep being a fake bitch when you're a little drunk. I think it's great. Give people compliments
I
that you
did
don't like.
too. I
Like they
did
made a big
too.
deal that she said, "Oh, Sutton's so wonderful." What else you gonna say
Yeah.
to her friend from childhood? She
Sutton
sucks.
is a beautiful soul.
I mean, come on.
Sutton is a beautiful soul. Oh, it was so funny. And it was even funnier when Dorit goes, that bitch is lathered.
Well,
Okay. But you want to know who has a problem? A real
no,
problem. Dorit didn't need 8 $300 fans.
oh no.
No one needs $2,500 of fans.
She's
Nobody.
giving them away to people.
Maybe she brought them home for the housekeeper. I don't know. But do you think she has 8 girlfriends? Maybe her
Yeah.
mom.
Well, not as
I
many as
mean,
Ramona. Ramona has 50.
they all pitch in to buy her one Gucci bag. Would they all
Exactly.
give
I mean,
$20?
but then again, Kyle Richards decides that when she's on a trip and on vacation, wherever the Hermes is the capital of the city.
No, it's the epicenter.
Or the
That's the
epicenter.
epicenter of which she has to go around. I actually thought that was funny. And I want to tell you something else. I love Trevor.
Oh yeah.
I
I thought he was
loved
great. He looked just like me.
Trevor.
Did you
No,
not
he
think so?
didn't.
What are you talking about?
You thought Trevor looked like you. You don't act like Trevor. Was Trevor European? Because we never got to the bottom of that. Trevor and MERCE were together. Is that you or is that Trevor?
That's Trevor.
Trevor was lovely. Well, you don't have facial hair.
I have though. I'm not saying me now. He's 30 years older than me, 20 years
Yeah,
older than
okay.
me.
And 30 years, when you live in Spain for 30 years, you'll be Trevor. And you have the dance connection. I love Trevor. I hope we see Trevor again. Was Trevor going to be there when they toss the ashes, when they toss MERCE out of the purse? I
The
want to
MERCE
know.
thing needs to end. I mean,
Oh, I sort of love the MERCE, but she was really having a visceral reaction to the ashes.
yeah. But I
Sutton.
think that's
Yeah.
because she explained it perfectly. She lost her dad's
Yeah.
ashes,
Yeah. Yeah.
which like
No,
is an epic
totally.
fail.
It was.
And so like I am grateful Annemarie was good to Crystal. But at the same time, like if
Did,
she had not, as the only medical professional in the group, been there for Crystal, I think that would have I would have fired her. You're in a
yeah. No,
foreign
I
country.
understand that. But
You're
did you
on the
think?
show with someone and you know enough about medicine to like make sure that there isn't like even worse of a reaction and that she stays calm. If I was the production team, I would have turned to her and been like, we need you to step in and help. Like you're the medical professional. Like it's a liability
Yeah.
at that point.
Well, they didn't want her to go to the hospital with her. And I think somebody should have. I know the producers
They
went or
sent a
whatever.
producer. They were
Yeah,
cut
I
down.
get
Anne Marie
that.
was
No,
going to go, and then the producers cut it down because they were like, nah.
yeah, they all became very religious. I thought it was sort of comical.
I thought it was nice Sutton and Kyle's
But what
moment.
did you think about the fact that Kyle keeps her mom in the bathroom?
I think it's a smart place.
Really? Why?
Your mom's dead. It's a shitty situation.
Oh, that's funny. Um, um, oh gosh. Okay.
I mean, what are you going to do? Put her in the kitchen because she's hungry?
I thought it was funny when they said that when Eric is drunk, she becomes a world prophet. I mean, the whole thing, Erika and Garcelle was great. And the way she flirted with the dad, it was great. And you want to know what I wished? I wished at the end of that dinner party that we could have way more dinner parties like that. Because that's the type of dinner party I want to see Andy Cohen on The Real Housewives. I don't want to tables flipped, people
Do you think that
banging
Andy
on tables,
plans what
and the
happens
whole
at the table?
no. But I'm going to tell you.
So then why are you telling Andy? Why don't you tell the women to behave and
Okay,
be
women.
fun?
I'm just saying we've had Jennifer Aiden throwing things across the table, and oh, we had Kim Richards. Or who threw the glass? Was it Lisa
Rinna.
Renna? Renna threw
Yeah.
the glass. We had Brandy Granville slap Lisa
Glanville.
Glanville. What'd I call her?
Granville, you keep
Okay.
saying.
I had her slap Lisa Vanderpump. No, this was the kind of, it was engaging. It was interesting. It was entertaining, and there was
Yeah, it was light. It was fun.
it was a beautiful dinner party. And I wish they had some more like that. We don't have enough of those. I want to see some
I
civility.
think the goal for the production is this.
Oh, this is the goal, and we get what we get. Oh,
I mean, we
okay.
definitely don't have Denise Richards, who did you see that the cannabis company posted something about her and said that the whole like because she said maybe it was your food that got her that way, and they did this whole thing about how she was fucked up when she got there.
Yeah, well,
She
she
didn't.
was. We saw
No,
that
no,
she
no,
was
but to a
messed up.
point where like she was
Yeah.
like, so how does Bravo have any control over Denise Richards taking something before filming, drinking a little bit, and then showing up to a dinner making a fool out of herself?
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't.
And
You have no
Danielle bringing a
control.
book, and Phaedra Parks telling all the women that she's that it's natural for her to be induced 5.5 months into her pregnancy. Like
Phaedra.
that's
She
not
didn't
that's
want anybody to know she was pregnant. I looked up Sutton's Gucci PJs because I
and
like to do I like to look how much they're $3,000.
that's nice.
Oh, and I looked up her husband too, and
Yeah,
where
we all
he's the
have.
head of. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
we have.
looked up that too. It's the name of the company's Femco. Not that I should give them out, but you know what made me you want to know what made me curious? I didn't know what Christian looked like.
Google them.
I did, because on the Real Housewives, he's blocked because they won't show. He doesn't give himself permission to be.
I
So
know.
of course that you know what, he was probably the first person. He was probably the number one Google search in America during that episode, because I
Who was
bet you
number two?
everybody. I don't
Name
know.
them. Name them. Name them.
Name him.
Name
No,
them.
it's no. You did it wrong. It's name him. Name him. She doesn't say name him. Name him. Name him. It's name him.
It's
Name
faster
him.
than that.
Name him. I don't know. I
It's
think it's
faster than
that.
that.
Um.
Did you see Catherine O'Hara doing her accents of all the different scenes
No, was it
on Watch
good?
What Happens Live? Yeah, it was amazing. And then Catherine O'Hara and the guy she was on with from Argyle, the new movie, who was Malcolm in the Middle's dad on the show, they were both on together last night and they recreated the scene of Dorit and Denise with the jacket on upside down.
I love that scene. That's so good. That was so good. Sutton was a little unstable with the crying. I get why, but she has trouble controlling herself a little bit. I want to talk about some other little breaking news.
Okay.
And one
You need
is
my
that,
permission to say yes? You like
huh?
paused. You were like, I'd like to talk about some breaking news. And then you
Yeah.
paused, waiting for me to
First
be
of
like,
all,
okay, go
it
for it.
I want to tell you about, I wrote it down. Oh, it's confirmed that Alexis Bellino is coming back, and she is dating John Jansen.
Oh, yes, we know. Yeah, I saw that.
And poor Shannon Bedour, Shannon Storms. That's gonna be fantastic, you know.
Yeah,
And
why poor?
do you know Kelly is with Kelly Dodd is
Hmm.
with Vicky Gunvalson
I
in
know, yeah.
Mexico. Yeah, and I want to tell you there were some other little
They'll have a spinoff soon. They'll all the
I
reject
love
wives.
Kelly Dodd and her husband's podcast. I'm just gonna go
Yeah,
there because they're
shocking.
obsessed with they're obsessed with pickleball. They play
Mhm.
pickleball. They have a great pickleball. I wanna get to, I wrote it down and now I can't find it. There was another breaking little story.
Aunt prepares very much for the pod.
I lost it. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? This is serious, and it's almost at the end of the podcast. So
Nothing that we talk about here is serious.
no,
Can we
this
just
is
make
a
that
little
clear?
bit. I want to talk about when Dorit and Garcelle were talking,
Okay.
and how Dorit talked about how she was the only Jewish kid growing up, and that she was subject to a lot of anti-Semitic
Yeah.
remarks. And will never know other people's experiences in life.
Oh, please don't compare this to when my
No,
mom says that you guys
no,
were
no, no, no,
called.
no,
Okay.
no, no. I'm not gonna kiss that. I'm not. This has nothing to do with Garcelle's experience. All I'm gonna say is, if you're the only woman in a room of men, you're uncomfortable a little bit. If you're only man in a room of women, you're uncomfortable a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, of
If
course.
you're
But
the only Jewish kid growing up, you're a little uncomfortable. And I think it's when you're the only one is what's so hard. And that's
Okay.
all I'm going to say. So I don't think it's anything. If you're the only black kid in the neighborhood, it's hard. But
Yeah,
if
but
you
the
were the
difference is
only,
most people don't know that you're Jewish until you tell them.
well, they would know if you're culturally Jewish because you have Sabbath on
But wait,
Friday
walking down the
night.
street, someone doesn't know who you are.
Yeah,
They
but
don't
I
know
don't
you're
know where she
Jewish.
grew up. That's
No, it doesn't
I can't.
matter unless you know them and you talk to them, or
Yeah.
they're wearing a yarmulke. You don't know
Right,
they're
right.
Jewish.
Or they're Hasidic and they've
Garcelle
got.
walks down the street. No one thinks she's white. Like it's a different
Oh,
type of
yeah, yeah. No, I know
othering.
what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Right. And I get that. But she didn't grow, but she grew up in in Haiti.
I get it, but what I'm trying to tell you is she's not talking about her time in Haiti. She's talking about her time in the US where like
Yes, I
it's
understand
mostly
that. But
white
I'm just
people.
saying I got it. But I think if you're ever when you're ever the only one, no matter it could be you're the only Asian in the neighborhood. It could be you're the only
Of
American
course, but there's
native.
some
I'm just saying
differences
it's
that
hard when you're the only no matter what.
and it's harder when you're only the thing that you the only of is visual.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, like being a woman, being a
And I'm
man.
not saying that anyone should hide their truth. That's not how you should live
No,
your
but
life.
I thought I will say that Garcelle has had the best conversations almost on TV about race.
Well, that's why she was on a show about race, like a daytime talk show that was pretty much built on race.
Yeah, but I mean, she does a great job at it. She really,
Yeah.
really does. You know what I mean? Like, I
I
like,
wish Kyle had been more open because, like, honestly, I just don't. There's times that I'm just like, I want people to say, like, what we're thinking, which is Kyle should have been like, Garcelle, like, what you taught me when we had that conversation years ago, and they should have flashed back to it, is like, and Kyle should have been real and been like, that conversation helped a lot of people. Like, I
yeah,
want them to break the fourth wall a little bit because it's
yeah, a
like,
little bit. I know
they
what you
need to a
mean.
little bit because it's awkward sometimes when not. And so it's like, women, like, we're happy for you that you're having these conversations at your lunch table. But can we be real that like these conversations are also really helpful for the hundreds of thousands of people that are watching your show? Because
Yeah.
that's real. And I think that they need to say I don't think there's anything wrong for any of them to say, Garcelle, like, thank you for being open to talking about this stuff, but also thank you for coming at it from a place of education and helping us
Yes,
all
I think, like I
learn.
said, I think she has done more to explain than almost anybody else on
And I
TV.
think, and honestly,
I
I
think
think
she's fantastic.
if I was Andy, the next time Garcelle's on Watch What Happens Live, I would be Andy saying, thank you for having those conversations on Bravo. And I want
Mm.
you to know that, like, you could easily use those experiences where, let's face it, some of these women have said things that have been super uncomfortable for you. And instead of flipping out and just walking away, which you had every right to do so, especially if it really triggered you, where you still would have gotten so much support from people within your own community, but also
Right.
others, that would have been there for you. In a way, I bet that Garcelle actually gets worse on Twitter that, oh, you don't, you're a sellout for not telling them that they're racist or something. You know what I mean? Like she probably gets actually feedback that she's not hard on them. That
Yeah, I don't
like
know. I got to follow
I
her.
hate to say it, but I think that everyone should be if I the same way that I think not Dorit, because maybe this last scene, but before it was a little bit, she needed a little more awareness.
Yeah.
But I think that the same way that I believe I've liked the way that Kyle acts with Garcelle, like that she was learned something. She hasn't
Yes.
brought it up again.
Right.
She learned. And if there's the white people out there, be more like Kyle when someone's
Mm.
telling you something about themselves that you don't know and listen, especially when they're talking to you the way that Garcelle did, because it was not to hurt, it was to educate. And then for black folk, listen to Garcelle because the way she's talking to white people, I believe, and I'm not even there, is helping me. So
I
it's
think
like,
so too. She discusses it in a way of explaining versus schooling.
yeah, like she's
I think she's just fantastic. I really
like I
do.
heard something recently where it's like if we list if you shouldn't answer back to someone until you have until you 100% know that you have fully listened and comprehended to what they said.
That's a great idea.
Because we tend to answer back before we
Yes.
let the person finish, but are we actually listening to what they're saying?
No,
We're
I'm already
always ready to
forming.
respond
Yes.
before we've even listened to what they say.
Yes.
And I think especially when it comes to like race and things like that, it makes total sense. It's like if someone's telling you something that clearly hurt them, whether you think you meant to do it or not, you should at least listen to what they say. Because the other part I think Garcelle says is that Garcelle is very good at saying, and I'm not saying that people do this, but I think there are times when people like manipulate a little bit, or they're playing a game where when someone says, I didn't mean for that, that wasn't my intention, they
Right.
say like, okay. Whereas Garcelle, I like that she validates when she feels that it's true. She goes, I believe that. I
Right.
believe that that wasn't your intention.
Yeah.
Because for her, that's her way of saying, I don't think that well, she said it also, I don't think any of you are racist. She's explaining more around what you're saying. You're not understanding the impact that that has on me. You like, if you said that to a white person, it has no impact. Like,
Yeah.
but you can't say that to me because I'm telling you why that word triggers me. Nothing to do with you. It's
Right.
about me.
Right.
So I
right,
want you to
right.
understand it because you're not thinking of how that's impacting me. You're talking to me the same way you talk to all your friends. The
Right.
difference is that I'm telling you that that lands differently for me. So if
Yeah.
I'm your friend, you need to think about how it lands for everyone around you, not just the experience that you know.
And that was Psychology, a podcast with Andrew.
Oh. Well, who was your mess?
Well, I want to say that I kind of thought the mess was Rob and Mauricio because neither of them really seemed to care that their wives were in Spain. And Rob couldn't have gotten rid of Crystal fast enough. And Mauricio was in the dock and then he became a triangle. That's all I'm going to say. They really, I just got the feeling neither one could really care. He was like, oh, good, you're good. Okay, I got to go now. Bye. That was Rob
That's
and
because he was
Mauricio.
probably on the phone with her for 5 hours when she was at the hospital.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that it was kind of funny how
And
they both.
Mauricio lost service.
I know that, but it seemed like that they didn't really care. It wasn't like, oh, let me stop the car and get a good connection so I can see your beautiful face, sweetheart.
I also don't
No,
think that they call them though. Like, I think that there's a lot of like, all right, now
I think they call them because the camera's there and they want to make a call.
No, I think they call them because the camera's there because the producer goes, now call your husband.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
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 not
yeah.
the
That's what I'm
talent.
saying. No, I think
No.
they say, okay, we're here, film, call your husband so we can get film. Yeah. And it has nothing, and they don't know probably even that they're getting called, but they pick up. Because if you call me on FaceTime, I'm picking up unless I take off my makeup for the night. And then I'm not picking up FaceTime.
Well, I mean,
How often do you FaceTime? Every day?
no.
Oh, you don't? Yeah. I FaceTime my grandson every day.
I think that after Teresa had that situation with Louis where she picked up the phone in the car and she was filming and then he started talking shit or what they were planning to do
Yeah,
or whatever.
maybe they're all being careful.
I think so. Or Bravo's also telling them like, hey,
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
that to
Okay, so
happen to
who's
you
your? Oh, and
again.
then there's the time difference. Let's not forget the time difference is huge from Spain to LA. It's probably 8 hours.
Yeah, so it's the middle of the workday.
So why was Mauricio in the dock? Because it was dark
He
out
was
where
in the
Mauricio.
garage. He went inside. That's why
Oh,
he
he
lost
was.
service.
Oh, I didn't get that part. I thought it was nighttime, and it was nighttime there, and I was going to say that doesn't work all of a sudden. Okay, who's your mess?
I don't think any of them really were like messy per se, like in behavior, but Kyle like jumping on Garcelle's bed after like putting her heels on all night. I'm so against that. Like I don't let I no ew.
Okay. I think that was, she also was looking for, she had that fabulous paella and all she wanted was chocolate. She was raiding the chocolate candy. They didn't have dessert, I
Sounds
guess.
like others I know.
I know. That's what I would be doing too.
We go to an event, a game, a show, and Aunt's like, want a chocolate,
Want a
you want this.
chocolate?
And
I
you know who
always
did
have
it? Her
chocolate in
mother.
it.
Her mother used to do it.
My mother always had chocolate in her bag, and I always have chocolate in mine.
That's nice. That's
I
cool.
know. All right.
Love you guys. Talk to you soon. And
Follow us on Instagram at Aunt and Andrew. Give us a thumbs up. Don't forget about us. We'll see you again next week.
Yes, to all three of you that are still listening. Love you. Bye.